Marco went from a TaeKwonDo champion to a biotech CEO. Now he's revolutionizing health tech with wearables. Marco Benitez shares how he turns raw data into life changing insights and why the future of healthcare is personal. Welcome back to Business Growth Talks, the show where we deep dive into the journeys of ambitious entrepreneurs, business leaders, and innovators who are building something extraordinary. Today's guest is someone who perfectly embodies the spirit. Mark Benitez, CEO and co-founder of Rook, from his early days as TaeKwonDo champion to becoming a biomedical engineer and eventually launching one of the most exciting platforms in digital health. Marco's journey is a masterclass in discipline, vision, and execution. Rook is transforming how wearable health data is used, turning streams of raw metrics into meaningful, real insights for healthcare, wellness, and insurance companies. Backed by over $3 million in funding and working with top-tier partners, Marco is building a company with real impact. In this conversation, we dig into the origin story of Rook, the challenges of innovating in healthcare tech, and why Marco believes in the personalized healthcare is the next frontier. Let's go straight into it. What most people don't expect a martial arts champion to end up revolutionizing healthcare data. What are some of the parallels between your martial arts and building a tech company?
I think it's everything, honestly, Mark. Sports, it's like the best way to shape you, right? Because at the end of the day, all the things that you learn from sports, it's discipline, perseverance, and be consistency in everything. So for me, Taekwondo was everything. I'm a black belt, so it's like in all these tournaments, losing a lot of fightings, win another ones, become a national champion. It really helped me to create a shape of myself, my values, everything. So it's the same thing when you are doing something different in your work life, in your personal life. It's be consistency, be work around your values, and be disciplined every single day doing the things that you have to do to achieve your vision. So I will say that's part of the journey.
So do you think the
Yeah,
mindset, the discipline, is something that's
one
helped you
hundred
in
percent.
building a business? Because building a business is messy, isn't it? There's a lot of moving parts, especially in startup phase where lots of roles and responsibilities aren't necessarily defined and you're all just chipping in to make it move forward. How how in that messy world of startup were you able to implement that discipline and that mindset that's been able to grow Rook?
Oh yeah, I remember the first day that I was building Rook was so difficult because I was the only one.
Right.
That I remember that morning, and I was in front of my laptop, and I was like, okay, what can I do? What's the next step? I don't know. Let's work. And it was like doing was like just to start from the beginning, start to create your business model, working, having different goals, and every single day from the first day until now, I have a lot of calls with clients, with potential clients, with you know investors, with my team. And in those days was the same thing. And it's like in sports, at the very beginning you don't know what you are doing, and it's very difficult because you don't have the flexibility. Sometimes you don't have the, I don't know, you don't have anything, right? So but every single day you are achieving new things. So it's super messy in both sides, in the
Yep.
sports and also building something new. It's very messy, a lot of chaos, a lot of things, a lot of mixed feelings at the same time. It's like
Mm.
a, at some point it's like I'm doing right, I'm in the right direction. And also in the path you start to see new people, like coaches in the fitness or sports. It's like you have your coach that will guide you through different type of things and will give you different experience, like, hey, you have to do this kick that way, hey, you have to run, hey, you have to do workouts, hey, you have to go for weights, all these type of things that will create the new shape of you. And when you are creating a startup, at the beginning was is the same. You find new coaches that guide you with their own experience, and they will not give you the advice of how to do a kick, but it's going to give you an advice of how they go through different type of things. And also reading books, it's the same thing. It's almost the same thing doing sports and create a new startup or company.
Yeah, I get that, and I think the role of coaches, especially early on, is super important
Oh
for your
yeah.
journey as an athlete as well as as an entrepreneur as well. But I just want to ask you about talk me through the pivotal moment when you left corporate pharma and you decided that you were going to build something on your own.
Oh man, it was super difficult. I still remember that feeling like yesterday. I was working in a big pharma industry. I was working in a big industry, impressive one. I was doing very well. My performance was great. On those days, I was the head of medical affairs. So big job. Moving also um, to another country because that was my aspiration those days. With my family, I have on those days. Well, still, I have the same wife, and she was like, we were trying to move to another country, and we were doing back and forth with that country, and was very interesting because the last time that we were flying back to home, I was like a little bit sad, and she noticed that, and she was like, "Okay, what's going on with you? Why you are not so happy? We are going to achieve your vision in terms of moving to another country. You have the your job dream. You have everything. Why you are not so happy? You so excited to move it?" And I was because I just tell her that I want to build something from the scratch. At the same moment, we just started to create another company. The name was Rook Motion. Rook Motion, it's a pivot of, well, we started with Rook Motion, then we changed everything to Rook. But on those days, we just started to create this new company with my co-founders, and was I really remember that day, and for me was everything. My wife, she was crying. I don't know why, but she was crying until she told me like, I just want that you be very happy. That's it. And I was, are you sure? Because tomorrow I'm going to quit my job. And she said, do it, do it. The next day I quit my job and start building Rook. Was the most difficult part also because my ex boss told me like, why you are doing this? Y- we were a whole year trying to move you to another country
Mm.
in this job. What happened? What's going on with you? And I told him, and he was like, okay, there is no way I can change your idea. And I told him, no, there is no way. So yeah, I am here today.
And are you happy?
I'm super happy. I'm
Right.
very excited. Every single day, I'm with a lot of energy. I know every single day it's like ups and downs, right?
Yeah, oh yeah,
All
yeah.
day.
But running a business is 100% like when you're in a job and you've got the support of. So I worked in corporate as well. I went to and you get the support of other people influencing. So in some cases, making decisions. You're sort of like you've got other people in your sphere, stakeholders. It's very supported when you're running your business. It's in my case, it's me and my co-founder. In your case, like I know you've got people involved as well. So but it's messy, it's chaotic, it's highs and lows. That's the reality
oh
of
yeah,
business.
and I always say that in 1 hour you can go through different feelings. You are in the top in the morning, then you are like, oh my goodness, I'm the worst thing in ever. I'm not sure if I'm doing right. Then you're in the lowest part, and then something happened and you have a new client that excited you so much, or maybe an investor, maybe you met someone that helped you to go through different stages. So it's so hard this, but I love it. I mean, we are different animals. That's something that
Yeah.
I learned also too, that we are different animals, and not everyone it's made to be a founder or
Yeah.
create
No,
a startup.
absolutely.
It's so hard. Yeah.
So, so in your business model, you've raised over $3 million. What was your
Yeah.
strategy to pitching Rook and attracting investors that are aligned with your mission as well?
I think that's the most important thing, that the investor is aligned with your vision. And you have to learn how to pitch that vision. You have to create in a very you have to be very aware that no one will understand what you are doing. But you have to go through the long vision and saying what's your end thing that you want to build. And it's so difficult at the very beginning. I mean, to raise this 3 million, probably I made 400 calls, only the first call. Of course, I have follow up
Mm, mm,
emails and calls and all this type of things, but a lot of learnings after pitching so many times. The things start to be more clear for you because you start to receive a lot of feedback too.
mm,
Maybe you have that idea and probably you are going to nail it around that idea, but with all the feedback you start to receive. So, for everyone, my background, I'm from Mexico. I'm not from the US. And that's the other part, which sometimes is a little bit difficult because you don't have network here in the US
right.
or in other country, right? So I
Mm,
used to have network from my previous companies, from my previous job, but in Mexico, not here
mm,
in the US. So was like start to going outside, go to different networks, go to different, parties, go to different dinners, go to different, start to meet people.
mm,
And then at the end of the day, I learned that you are talking with people, right? So you
mm,
are not talking with money. You are not talking with institutions. You are not talking with VCs. You are not talking with investors. You are just talking with people. Be nice. Be a good person. That's it. That's it. It's not so difficult. It's only talking your ideas, your vision. You will learn. They will learn. Both will have back and forths. Maybe we can go for a coffee and have a good time. That's it. It's not so difficult. So probably that was my strategy, having no strategy and meet people and try to help.
Imagine this: you have a great business, strong results, and a message worth sharing, but most people outside your network still have no idea who you are. Growth slows when visibility stops. Podcast guesting solves that. Instead of chasing leads or interrupting people with ads, you speak directly to audiences who are already interested in your topic. They share your story, your approach, and your value you deliver. Trust is built before the first conversation. At Podcast Introduction, we help business owners get booked on the right shows. We research targeted podcasts, pitch you on your behalf, and position you as the expert. So every interview becomes a growth asset that drives leads and authority. If you want more visibility, more credibility, and more conversations with the right clients, podcast guesting is a powerful lever for you. Visit podcastintroduction.com and start expanding your reach today. And how are you able to get them aligned with your vision? Obviously, spending time with them, coffees, dinners, lunches, whatever. Spending time with them but choosing a wrong investor can be incredibly impactful for your business as well. Like, how did you get the right investors that you've managed to get?
What I learned, they are very similar to us. Very. That's why they say yes. Not sure if you know this story about kissing frogs.
Yeah, of
You have
course.
to kiss a lot of frogs to find a princess. That's
Yeah.
it. It's the same thing. You have to kiss a lot of investors. It's a short way to say it, but it's like you have to meet a lot of investors, and you will find it's not something that it's chemistry. It's
Mm,
something biological. It's something that probably, honestly, I don't have an answer for that. It's like it just mean to be. You start to talk with different investors, and you find that you have something with him, and it's like, hey, we have a good connection, we have a good relationship, we can help each other. I think that makes sense,
Yeah.
and that's it. I will tell you that I love all my investors. All of them are great. I have time with them all the time. And every single time that I have a call with my investors, they give me a lot of feedback and I receive everything because I mean they are investing time with me. That's important. So keep them aligned. It's just communication. Is have
Yeah.
them. We have different newsletters that we send every single month, but also I having a lot of conversations with them. But this is not something that happened from one day to another. At the very beginning, it's like a feeling and the excitement of the
Mm.
business that you are building, and then you create a very good relationship with them. So I don't have any specific answer for that. It's not one thing. It's sometimes that it's a line. It's used to be. It's
Yeah.
meant to be. Sorry.
No, that's great. Um, what were some of the biggest challenges that you faced in the early days of Rook, and how did you overcome them?
At the very beginning was, I think, the first client is the most important and impactful. Um, because at the very beginning you don't have the complete product. You have pieces of product. You have, some ideas, and you have some connections, and you have something, but it's not a complete product. So the first client is the most important one that will give you a lot of feedback. They are still our clients after all these days. um, we have a very good engagement with them, and they know that they are part of what we are building. So that for me is very important. It's like, they trust me, they trust my team, they trust my, probably we don't have the perfect product, but they know that we are going to solve the problem that we have in front of us. That's something really important. So probably the most difficult part is have the first client that pay you and give you all this feedback, and then start working on that. um, I will say that was one of the biggest. I will not say it's the biggest problem, but it's like, you struggle because it's like, you have, I don't know, you have a lot of things in your mind at the same time. You have to keep building, and then you release a specific product. Maybe it's not what they want. They give you feedback, and you go back. It's all this
Yeah.
back and forward all the time. So yeah, and then of course
Amazing.
hiring. Hiring is the other stuff which is so
Uh,
difficult. But yeah,
so
uh,
hiring, and I say this, like my audience will get bored with me saying this. Hiring and firing is the hardest thing being a business
oh
owner.
man, oh
It's
yeah,
the
yeah,
hardest
hiring.
because
It's people.
yeah, yeah, and people are messy, and people are complicated, and people can look great on a CV, and people can interview great, but then you get them into an environment, and if it doesn't work for them, it can be toxic, and it can really disrupt the rapport within the company. I think it is singly the hardest thing that we do as a business owner.
I agree. I agree, man. It's like, during the hiring process, all these interviews, it's like maybe you will have, if you want, you can have 10 calls with someone. But at the end of the day, you will not know him very well until they are on board, or
Yeah.
he or she is on board. And that's when you really see the true colors, you know?
Mm, mm.
It's so difficult, and you have to take very quick decisions when you are in startup. You cannot give him 1 year to perform, or 3 months. It's like, you have to act very quickly, do some warnings, but also everything it's on the onboarding, honestly.
Yes.
If you have a very good onboarding, that help you a lot, a
Yeah.
lot. So we, for example, on our case, we build a very robust onboarding, that help us also to, keep everyone very quick on the product that we have. It's very complex, the product that we have. So it's like trying to help him and then putting him in front of the clients, no matter if it's a developer, a data scientist, or customer success, or it doesn't matter. Every single person that we have in the company, it's have a call at least with one client, so he can hear, or she can hear, the struggles and the problems and everything. So yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. Well, let's go into the actual product. So, how do you turn raw wearable data into actionable insights? These are your words that I've got here. Can you talk us through a user case or a client case that you've got, or a customer case, on how you're able to do that?
Yeah, let me set the ground first. We are an API solution, so we enable any brand to use wearables devices. So instead of these companies that want to use the wearables information and they need to integrate one by one and then standardize and normalize all the information and then use the data, we we take out all these pain points. So we are an API. On our API, we have
Right.
hundreds
Sorry to
of
interrupt you. So just
medical.
talk to my audience about APIs. Like, I worked in a little bit with technology, so I know it's a connecting point
Mhm.
that you can connect to other business. But just explain that to my audience a little bit further.
Yeah, very simple. An API is a code. It's lines of codes, and that's it. We are in the backend. We connect different points. We connect wearables. We connect medical devices in this code. So every single one that have an app or a platform, instead of make the connections by themselves, they only have to integrate my code. It's like a copy paste thing. We have a documentation on our web page, and they copy everything in their own app, and then immediately they will have
So
hundreds of
it
wearables.
connects your code with other devices, other server, other providers that you can do. So as you say, it is a kind of like you can copy and paste your API, and that will then connect one company with what you're doing with the wearables. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. And then we have the ability to pull the data from the end users from their own wearables, and then we clean the data. We standardize, normalize, harmonize, take out duplicity. We do a lot of things with the cleaning of that information. So now you, as a company, as a fitness club, as a fitness app, as a wellness app, as a longevity app, as a insurance app, all these type of things, they can use the data from the end users because everything is clean. Now you have apples to apples, and before you have apples with pineapples. So it's a completely different thing, right? Um, so yeah, that's exactly what we do.
And
Um,
how was that? That must have, because I as I said, I did a little bit in technology. That's not always an easy process to create that API and make that connectable with all the different devices. How are you able to integrate that into your service to make it a smooth process, and in elements, in essence, make it scalable?
Yeah, basically, we have partnerships agreements with these companies. We have different ways where we engage with these wearables devices like Garmin and Polar and Apple Watch. All of them, all the wearables outside, plus medical devices, plus lab testing. So we have partnerships agreements. We have all this structure. It's like we have certifications that allow us to extract the data. So it's a huge process behind the scenes that we do with all these brands. So basically, if you, as a company, as a fitness app, you want to integrate it with all these wearables, you have to go through a lot of steps just to have one connection. So it's difficult at the end of the day. So we create this smooth transition. So instead of doing all of that, it's on our side. We
Yeah.
keep them run on
And the
that part.
agreements with Garmin, with Apple, and all those places, that possibly wasn't the easiest thing to do, to make the agreements to get that possibility of you being able to integrate.
No, definitely no. This is something that you have to build.
Yeah.
Um, you have to build trust, right? So again, we are talking with people. We are talking about, you know, different strategies. We are talking about that they believe on the product that we have, the scalability that we have. The again, you have to be HIPAA compliant, GDPR, ISO, SOC 2. So it's a lot of certifications that these companies obviously need, because it's data and it's PII, which is like a personal information.
Yeah.
So that's tough. Yeah.
So I've got a Garmin, and when I
Hmm.
was setting it up and connecting it with my phone and all that sort of things, one of the questions they asked was, are you open to share that information with our providers, whatever like our sort of support around that? And I'm sure there'll be people out there that go no, but what's the percentage? Do most people just go, I'm okay with it? It's probably anonymized. It's not, Mark Hayward's data is not necessarily going to be shared with individual companies. Have you got any sort of gauge, like the sort of like from the end user? Because you've talked about from the partnerships that you're creating, but the end user, what's the experience that my Garmin has with Rook, and how have you been able to develop that from a user case situation?
Honestly, we don't have too much information or too much connection with the end user. Basically, so for example, we have connections with the hospital that want to do a remote patient monitoring program. So, in order to go through that specific program, they do all the advertisements to the patient, and they say to them, hey, we want to have 24/7 information about yourself, because we want to identify if you have an adverse event or you have a specific event in your home. So the best way to track you is through these devices.
Okay.
So they create their own programs. It's like or for example, with insurance companies, the insurance companies, they give you discounts in your policy. They give you discounts, or they give you, I don't know, different type of, um, yeah, like I forgot the word. It's like not sort. They give you incentives. They give you different incentives to share your data. So it's like here in the US, for example, there's a lot of car insurance that give you, if you share your data, your GPS data, they give you discounts because they know how well you drive. So you, for example, I have 40 this semester. I have 40% of discount in my policy, and that's because I share my GPS and they
Okay.
know how well I drive. So it's the same thing with insurance. In terms of health, in terms of fitness, for example, in the fitness apps, if you share with that specific program, they told you like, hey, please, I want to personalize your experience depending on previous day. If you are very stressed, if you sleep very bad, all these type of things, they customize your experience the next day, and they probably will tell you like, hey, let's do some breathe exercise, let's do yoga, let's do CrossFit, let's do whatever they want to achieve. So it's a personalization stage, right? So it's hyper personalization because it's on top of your data. One use case which it's like a blow my mind, it's on the car industry, the automobile. So this company, it's amazing. He works with Audi, with BMW, with all these big brands. They customize the the experience inside your car. So you share your wearable data. If the car see that you are very stressed, they give you a massage in the car seat. They change the AC, change the lights, change the music. It's like it's like the car really know you.
Mm.
I mean, that really for me, when we were trying that car, was like, my goodness, it's the first time that I feel that my car feel me, and you are in the car at least 1 hour or a half
Yeah.
hour, and they know exactly what type of things I need with the information of my wearable. I mean, that's fantastic. I love it. For me, it was like, oh my goodness, I have a symbiosis with my car, right? So, yeah.
No, that's great. And but I want to go into health. insurance. So obviously, I'm based in London. We've got the NHS, and sort of
Yeah.
sharing that sort of data with the government, with the NHS. A lot of people would feel uncomfortable with sharing that data. But in America, obviously, you've got the health insurance sort of set up, and so is there more sort of like so sharing that data, I kind of feel like if someone's sleeping badly, if their nutrition's bad, if they're not exercising, and then they share that data with a health insurance company in America, they're gonna put it through the roof. But if you decline that and you go, well, I'm not going to give you that data, it's just I just want to explore that whole idea of health insurance and how as a user it can be beneficial, and why people should be sharing their data.
I think everything is around the prevention side. Prevention is better than be reactive. Um, so there is a lot of use cases like Vitality with John Hancock. In fact, they started in the UK.
Yeah, yeah.
So very successful, and they are doing a lot with life insurance. CPT codes are starting to change. The CPT codes are the ones who give you these specific activities that are reimbursable. So if you can be more on the preventive side, I think it's perfect for everyone. I hear a lot from a lot of my, for example, I pitch a lot of my investors. Some of them are very fit. They do a lot of exercise. And they always tell me like, hey, if why I have to pay my insurance policy, I need to pay the same quotation as someone else who has a very bad habits.
Mm,
And of course, it sounds like, oh, okay, but it's not, uh, are you, what's the position, right? So
yeah.
I think every single thing that give you the possibility to have a better life, I think it's perfectly fine. I mean, the ones who are moving the needle a lot in this world in the health industry are the insurance,
Mm, mm,
and they are the ones who are pushing to use a specific drug, to pushing to use a specific activities in the hospitals, of course, on top of the key opinion leaders of doctors telling what's the best practices. So
mm,
it's a lot. It's not one thing. It's like a big chain, and
mm.
it's what we are doing is bringing more data to the table to take better decisions about how
Yeah,
can we improve our health. That's it, right?
yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense. Can you share how strategic partnerships like the ones with InterSystems or Horizon BCBS has helped scale your business?
Intersystem is a huge partner. Um, they are behind Epic, for example. They are doing all these connections and created this language. The language is fire. I don't want to be very technical, but it's like they create this language where everything can be in the same format. So you can connect the pharmacist with the Epic, with the e-charts, with the medical records, with everything. So, because they have all these clients, they are the ones who are helping us to open new doors with in the health industry, with the insurance companies, with these insurtech platforms. So, building relationships, partnerships, agreement, partnerships, general speaking, I think it's really huge. It's like accelerate some way your presence in all this industry, or at least in this industry. So that one, it's a huge one.
Amazing. As a founder, how do you balance long-term vision with the immediate pressures of building a high-growth startup? It's hard. It's hard.
It's
It's
hard.
you've got a long-term
I'm
vision, but you've got to get the next month or the quarter results. It's hard.
it it's super hard when you are running a business. I'm laughing because it's something that we are dealing since day one, right? So you have one vision, and then you have a lot of inputs from clients, from investors, from all these type of things. I think the long term vision, it's something that you can really see, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if that change a little bit. It's okay with that if you are solving a problem. I think the most important thing is that you have to be in love with the problem, because if you are in love with the problem, the product and everything will change eventually, and you need that flexibility. So the long term vision, it's like I want to help people to be more healthy. That's it. How I'm going to be in that way, how can I go through that path? You will find different ways. You will find different solutions to that specific problem. In our case, we are solving the interoperability problem, and we are in love with that. We want to take all this pain of all these companies that are building amazing products to solve different problems in the wellness, in the health industry. So we are tackling these specific things. So it's more about your values, and also enjoying the journey. That's the most important thing.
What wearable devices do you use?
I use a lot. I
I
have
see you've
right now
got
because
both
of,
arms. You've got a
yeah.
watch and you've got a
Also I
Whoop.
have
Is
my
it
art. Yes, I do have the Aura Ring. I have the Whoop. I have the Apple Watch. I have the Garmin, the chest, the heart rate chest. I have a CGM. But it's because of my API. Because I'm the worst end user ever for my engineers. They hate me, really hate me, because also by the way, and in my bed I have the eight sleep,
right?
this bed that give you all this cold, and you know I love it. But I have a lot of wearables. I create a lot of chaos with my developers because I bring a lot of data in one point, so they are getting crazy all the time, and the data scientists also hate me. But it's like, yeah, I love them. By the way, I love wearables. I'm a geek of wearables. I remember in the early 2000s I was using the Polar one. I love Polar, by the way. It's really great, that company. But yeah, um I used to use a lot.
Right. How would you say you've evolved as a leader?
Whew. um Probably it's a journey where you learn a lot about yourself. It's really understand your superpower and trying to work through that. It's super difficult. It's something I really amaze, that when you are growing, how your behavior is changing all the time. So it's like, how can you be the best for your employees, for your investors, for your family? I have a wife, I have two kids. So it's a personal journey that I am enjoying so much, and I'm learning about myself so much. I mean, the startup world, it's or create a company, it's messy, it's chaos. So you are learning a lot about yourself and how can you be more a better leader for the company. So I mean, that's the most beautiful thing I am learning, honestly. And I think you are evolving all the time from having yourself, then have a family, and then you have people. Today we have 40 people working at Rook. We are not so big, but we are growing and we are hiring a lot. We are hiring all the time and bringing more investors and bringing more clients and bringing more, developers and data scientists and marketing and science. I don't know. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Um, I hope I am evolving.
Right. Amazing. What would you say your risk appetite is and how has it changed over the years?
I'm very risky. I'm super risky all the time. I'm all in, all in. Um, Probably it's something that God don't give me. I'm not like someone who, I mean, this is one life, right? And I'm living a life I will remember. So at the end of the day, the last day of my life, I just want to be, um, remember all these things instead of having dreams. Because if you have dreams in the last moment of your life, man, you did something really bad.
Yeah,
And
wasted.
so you wasted everything. So yeah, I mean, yeah, probably that's my answer.
Okay. Look, we're coming to the end of the interview. I ask the same 6 questions to all of my guests. So quick fire questions. They don't need a quick fire answer, and they've been described as being a little bit thought provoking. So, first question is, what's the best decision you've made?
Get married.
Why?
I love my wife. It's my best partner, my best friend, my it's my everything. It's my best,
Best
co-founder in the
investment.
world.
Best investment
The
that you
best
made.
investor. Yeah, of course. In fact, she invests more in me than I do, by the way. So it's like but she's my best friend. I love her so much.
And she
Mhm.
was she was from Mexico before you moved to the US.
Yes.
So
Yes,
she's
she is from Mexico.
experienced every stage of your life.
Everything. She knows everything. Everything.
Amazing. Next question. What's the best piece of advice that you've been given?
Keep going. Keep going. Do it. It. If you have an idea, please do it. Instead of talking with so many people or in your mind all the time, thinking what going to happen. Please do it. It's the best way to prove that idea.
And who gave you that
Let's
advice?
think. S- Honestly, I don't know.
But
I don't
you've
know.
you've you've kept it as just keep moving forward.
Yeah, yeah.
Amazing. Next question. Who's the person that's helped you most in your career and you can't say your wife?
My goodness. In my career, I mean, my father. My father should be the best one. Every single time I have a problem, I'm knocking his door, like, please, Pop, tell me if I'm doing wrong or something. He's my best mentor.
Was he a business owner himself?
No, he wasn't. He always tried and he failed every single time. So it's weird, but he used to have a normal job down in Mexico. He was very successful on that. He was also a teacher. He was at the same time, but he inspired me to do a lot of things. So yeah, probably every single time I have something, I have a trouble, or I have a struggle with something, I always go with him.
Amazing. Tell me about a regret that you have.
Nothing, nothing. I don't regret nothing.
No,
I'm
not a
that's because
relationship that went wrong, not a situation you could have dealt with slightly differently or maybe better.
I have before so many bad, uh, relationships with ex-girlfriends and everything, but that allowed me to understand what type of things I want and what not. Uh, the business, definitely, I know that it's not perfect, but thanks to all these problems or all these situations, I'm right here right now, and everything happened for some reason. So I don't regret nothing.
Are you a
I'm
spiritual
super
person?
happy. Yes, a lot. I am.
Is it Catholic?
I believe
Can
so
I?
much in. I'm yes, Catholic, Christian. I believe in God a lot, and that's beautiful. That helped me also to understand a lot of things about myself, to understand why. And sometimes you don't control a lot of things, and you know that there is something more powerful than yourself. So yeah, I'm very. I love it.
Amazing. Was there a time that you wanted to give up and what pulled you through to carry on?
Hmm. Could you please rephrase the question?
So, was there a time where you wanted to stop Rook and you were like,
Mm.
this is not working. I don't want to do it anymore. But then you slept on it, and the next day you were like, okay, that was a bad moment. That was a down moment. I've got my mission. I've got my purpose. I need to carry on. Was there a moment where you
Mm.
had sort of like, and it could be many times. Okay, it could be small moments rather than a big, I'm going to stop the business. But was there a moment where you were just like, this is really hard? But then you were like,
I
no, actually,
mean,
my mission is more important than anything else.
it's not a specific moment. I think I never, in my mind, never, I said like, I don't want to continue. Instead, was like, oh my goodness, this is so difficult. Oh my goodness, I'm running out of money. Oh my goodness, what can I do with this? But every single time I have that idea or coming to my mind, I'm always like, okay, let's continue, let's move, and always say like, God, please help me. Help me, please tell me that I'm doing right, I'm doing in your path, please tell me, please use me. and and give me, signals or something that I'm going in the right direction. um but I never I mean, I don't remember a specific moment when I was saying like, I want to quit. No, nothing, no, never.
Great. Tell me something that most people don't know about you.
I'm a open book, but I don't know. I always say that I have as a wife, I have two kids. I moved from Mexico to the US from one day to another. Um, Something that no one knows.
Not no one knows, but like most people, like maybe something your employees don't know about you.
Maybe what could, I don't know. That's I'm terrible with that things. I don't. And honestly, I don't know.
Okay.
You
Okay.
put me in a very tough
Well, it's
situation.
just an
I don't
interest.
know.
The reason why I asked the question is
Mhm.
sometimes there's a professional life and sometimes there's a personal life. And so,
Mhm.
um, so for example, me, unless you're in my circle, you wouldn't know that I coach my daughter in rugby union. So she trains on a Sunday and I'm an active coach for that. And that's people, I will tell people that are in my sort of inner circle, just because employees
Mhm.
and sort of like people in your network and things that around that sort of, they wouldn't know about that because you don't ever go that deep with people about those things. I don't know if there's anything that springs to mind that like people that you network with and maybe some of the investors that you might spend time with but they wouldn't necessarily know. And there might be in your case that you believe in God in an incredibly strong way. It might be that you do something fun with your daughter on every Friday night, or something like you do
Mhm.
film night with your kids on a Friday night. I know that's someone has said that to me on my show before. It's like every Friday,
Yeah.
my children we have film night, and it's just the reason why I asked the
Aye.
question is just to give a little sort of
Yeah.
irreverent sort of like thing that most people don't know about you.
I can give you one thing. Even though that I'm a black belt in Taekwondo, my kids doesn't do Taekwondo. They do Jiu-Jitsu.
Oh, the tension
Which
there.
exactly. Which I now I learned that probably Jiu-Jitsu is much better than Taekwondo. I'm doing Jiu-Jitsu too.
You're doing jujitsu as
So
well now, are you?
doing. I think every single human in this world have to do Jiu-Jitsu.
Why?
It's it's amazing sport. I never thought like that. It's like they give you this agility in your mind, in your body, to really help you to, it's like you are doing something that you It doesn't matter that you have a black belt in front of you or a blue belt. You are a white belt. You can do something different, and you can do something with that. So it's amazing, the jiu-jitsu. Honestly,
I'm gonna have to look into this. I'm gonna have to look into
probably
this because yeah, go on.
I regret. Sorry, very quickly. I
Go.
regret. I didn't learn jujitsu before.
Because you are not the first person to have said that jujitsu is better than karate and sort of taekwondo and things like that. Um,
Yeah,
and I've never really explored it, but you're about the third or fourth person in the last year that does jujitsu and absolutely raves about physically and mentally and being able to do it on a regular basis.
yeah. Try it. Believe me.
I will
Try
do some
it.
research.
You will
Um,
love it.
and my last question to you is, what does legacy mean to you?
Values. It's bring these values to my kids. Legacy. It's not about a company. It's not about statues. Not about nothing like that. It's values and believe in God.
Amazing. And lastly, where can people find you if they want to find out more about you or your business?
Yeah, you can go directly to tryrook.io in the web, or you can find us on LinkedIn as Rook. And you will find me over there, Marco Antonio Benitez. It's very simple. Well, maybe not that simple, but it's Rook at the end of the day, and you will find me over there. And I would love to hear different stories and try to help. Yeah.
Amazing. Look, a big thank you to Marco Benitez for sharing his inspiring story from martial arts and engineering to transforming health tech. If you found value in today's conversation, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with someone who is passionate about entrepreneurship, innovation, and maybe healthcare as well. And you can learn more about Marco and Rook by checking out the details in the show notes. And as always, thank you for listening and watching, and I'll see you next on the next show. Thank you very much.
Thank you.